Welcome back to another video, viewers. How you all doing? Hope it's all going well. Past weekend I was invited to race GX UK Overtakes at Dunkerswell. Never been to the track. Fancy giving it a bash. So I managed to get Matthew Roberts to lend me a chassis and the guys at Venom Racing Engines to hook me up with an absolute rocket of a motor. Now, this GoPro videos are of the heats. The GoPro did kind of muck up for the final, but I'm sorting that out. I'm trying to get you there. So into heat 1, I am starting on the inside of the grid. I'm P5. I get a great start and I'm pushing the guy third ahead. He runs into the corner. He's probably a bit inexperienced and has a bit colder tyres. 71 John Rees. Didn't seem to be happy. I'm not sure what that's about, but he wasn't. I've tucked him behind. I've gone from P5 to P3. Took a little hit there. That's a minor issue. Now I'm trying to chase down first and second. As you can see, that little hit has lost me a little bit of momentum. Skip forward a lap. I'm in the slipstream of John and Brad. Brad's gone defensive. John's tried to open up his line, tried to go narrow onto Brad, where I've come up with an opportunity here. Who am I following? Who am I going to put? Brad or the guy on the outside? I've gone for Brad on the inside. Tried to use it to my advantage. John did hang all the way around. I've got the old cut back, the old switcheroo, and I'm back up into second place. I'm now chasing down Mr. Philpott. So there's a good 3 or 4 kart length gap, I reckon, between us. So it might take me a lap or so to catch up with him, depending on how strong the slipstream is on this particular race, depending on where the wind's blowing. So as you can see, I am behind Philpott. He's a YouTube star, a race winner in a race of champions, even beating Vettel. So give his YouTube channel a quick check and watch his videos. He covered this video as well. So back to the racing. I am on his bumper now. I've got a great run through the final chicane. So I'm going to use slipstream. We're going to work together a little bit to push away from John Rees in third place. Brad has gone defensive. Just costing us both time, but it's not the end of the world. Going for the wider line there, just to try and carry momentum up. Force Brad onto the inside, and this is basically put me into a fight which I don't actually want to be in at this point. Single to Brad to work together, so let's push forwards. Now I did plan to work with Brad, but then he got an absolute shocker of an exit for the chicane, and it would have cost me too much time to sit behind him, so I took the initiative and dived down the inside into turn 1. So now I'm hoping Brad will work with me, so we can push away, work together. So now while I'm leading this race, I'll give you a quick rundown of what happened over the weekend. So the guys, Tom and Cole from Venom Motorsport, very kindly lent me a absolute rocket ship of a motor, and they will be selling motors for this series. So if you're looking to join it, hit them up. Matthew Roberts very, very kindly lent me a 2014 Alonso kart, which is the OTK before he swapped over to Kart Republic. Both put them together, and I barely touched the car. I mean, I changed the rear width and I changed the front torsion bar. I even sat on the standard 77/20 gearing. I mean, I really can't praise how good the kart was. 6 race old tyres they were as well. So we're coming in towards the penultimate lap. Still leading. Brad's still right behind me. Coming up to the start line, and it's one of the problems I always have. I don't actually look at the gantry. There it's showing. I've got 14 seconds left. I should probably start defending about now, but I didn't. For some strange reason, I'm not paying attention. I've left the door miles open for Brad. He hasn't taken it this lap, which kind of works out well for me. Didn't actually realise he was right behind me, as close as he is. Like I said, I didn't actually realise how much longer the race was left as well, which was realistically not enough. So I'm still driving around chilling, not actually defending my lines, and then Brad has sent it up the inside. Absolutely solid move. Blocked me off from cutting back. So no qualms about that move. My own fault. Should have actually paid more attention to how much longer the race was going on, but here we are. Right on Brad's tail. Waiting to get to him. He's gone defensive. Just instantly, so that even though I've got better run out the corner, and I've got a shorter gearing on him, so I've got more top end. Because he's covered the inside, I can't do anything about it. He neatly covers over the inside for the first left. I try and essentially try and get a cutback, which I learned throughout the weekend doesn't really work in these cars so much in this corner. Brad instantly goes straight to defensive, but he's kind of defending clean air. He's just leaving himself open here. Covers the track nicely, driven like a professional, someone who has beaten Vettel. Essentially just putting his car exactly where I want to go, so no faults there. Coming up to the final chicane, I get an absolutely mega run at the last corner. As you can see from this, it's a drag race, and that is how much I lost. Heat 1 to Brad Philpott. So Heat 2, starting P13 out of 25. So this is my worst grid start of the day. I'm lining up here. I've got a good starting position. I'm nicely on the tail because, like I said in the earlier part, Heat 1, essentially, I've got shorter gearing. I don't have that bottom end, so they kind of pull away a little bit. Not too much an issue. He's gone very early to cover the outside. So that has, as you can see for the outside, 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers through turn 1 and exit turn 1. And then I try to kind of like hang it a bit around the outside here. Works. It's a good like dummy run for other races. It's a good dummy run that it works. I'm now behind number 11. He was, as far as I'm aware, one of the new drivers into this series. Kind of like new to karting-ish. I don't really know. So if you're not, mate, I apologise. A big send up on the inside, but yeah, if you're not, mate, I apologise. Let me know in the message. I'll apologise there as well. So 3/4 into lap 1, I've gained from P13 to P8. I'm right behind James, one of the series organisers. Really nice guy. You should definitely hit him up if you're looking at testing one of these cars. They're so much fun. Straight into P7, so 13th to 7th in one lap, 6 places. Brilliant job. Right behind Brad and Anwar now, who are realistically my main competitors for this Oplay event. Brad's looked behind him. He knows I'm there. So after on lap 1 trying the outside, I try it again. I know there's grip there and it works. Hung it around the outside, just put me on the inside for the second part. Kind of gone a little bit half defensive, not fully committed, which has left me enough room. Anwar is now chasing the pro kart. Anwar left the gap wide open. I've had to slow down not to hit him. So he's got a better run. And then here, my actual nose gun gets stuck between mine and Brad's rear wheel. It gives me an absolute rocket boost to get me straight back past him. Fully unintentional, but kind of like a happy accident. So I'm right behind Anwar still. We've got a great run on Steve. Going into turn 1. Nice easy move. Following Anwar through. Exactly what I need to do. I know Anwar's fast, so I'm going to work with him. I've lifted here because there's no need me trying to battle him. Anwar's kart looks particularly stiff. You can see by the way it's like jacking its wheel. Anwar loves the duck. I felt I was a bit too old to be doing this, so I kind of enjoyed watching him doing it. Pretending that I wanted to do it, which I didn't really want to. Let's be honest. So now we are currently in P5. Let's give you another few corners, and both Anwar and myself got a great run again. Going up the inside of Mr. Fuller. Carbon copy of the previous lap. Anwar sent it. I've gone for the nice easy follow behind. So that's us in P4. A lap or two later, we've caught up with Alex Van Gien. Anwar actually pulled away from me a little bit there, so he's managed to get the move into turn 1 done, and I haven't actually been able to follow him, so now there's a kart in between us. I've gone for a little send up the inside. I've had to take a bit of curb. There might have been some pod rubbing, not a lot. No big issues there in my mind. I've managed to get the better exit though, so I'm on the inside. I've stated my position early, my intention early, and I've covered that off nicely. I've left him some room on the inside, but he hasn't taken it. He's slotted in behind me. But now that's first and second ahead of me, and I need to close down that gap. So there's not many laps left, but we're going to try and do it. Coming towards the end, I've eventually caught up with him, and Anwar has caught up with Luke. Anwar's ducking again. Once again, just before I've gotten to the back of Anwar, he pulled out and got the overtake done into turn 1. Hasn't left me enough time to catch up on the inside. Luke covers me off. He knows I'm there. He's been watching behind himself over his shoulder quite often. As far as I'm aware, all three of us, by the way, were on completely different tire pressures, like not actually near each other. Go as far as actually saying there's probably about 6 psi between myself being the highest. No, sorry, Anwar being the highest and Luke being the lowest, and I was in the middle. So there was actually a big old swing in tire pressures between us. So Luke is driving a great race, defending as much as needed without having to lose too much time to Anwar. Doesn't help me in a way because he's essentially still in his slipstream. So even if I can make Luke offline so he gets a bit of a dodgy exit, he's still going to get dragged along down the straight. It's the final lap. There's nothing else I can do about it. So Anwar takes a win in Heat 2, Luke in second, and I come across in P3. So start of Heat 3, and I already know what the results are so far. Anwar's had a 1 and a 4, Brad's had a 1 and a 4, and I've had a 2 and a 3. So all three of us on a total of 5 points, but they've both had a win. So their ones out better my 2. So it is really all depending on this last heat. Anwar is starting second place in this one, so you would automatically assume he's going to be the odds-on favourite to get pole for the final. Gone from P7 to P5 in turn 1. Next to Samantha, next to me, Sam and Sam. He's firing super hot and gone wide. So I've gone straight from P7 to P4. Been a great start for me. Anwar is still in P2. He hasn't actually managed to put away as much as he'd probably hoped. So I do still have the chance of grabbing this pole for the final. This was a back of grid start for Brad, so he was always on an uphill climb. Right up on the back of number 85. I'm sorry, I don't know your name. Drop me a comment if you feel offended, and I'll make sure I will correct that. So you can see once again with my short gearing, I'm catching up at the top end. 85 has a big moment on the exit of the chicane, which has left me for a nice easy overtake in turn 1. So Anwar is still in P2. Paul is leading. It's probably a 10, 11 kart length, and there I am. I'm ducking. Rare. Probably screenshot that. You probably won't see that very often. But anyway, they've got like a 10 kart length gap ahead of me. I'm hoping they start battling. Eventually, I catch up. I'm here. This is the exit of turn 1. Brad clearly knows I'm right behind him still. Anwar clearly knows I'm right behind him. He's checking over his shoulder. Anwar's ducking again. He's now moving over to take the inside. I did hope to follow him through, but I didn't get a chance. As Paul goes outside, I send a massive move up the inside. Nice fair, no one touches anyone. Nothing dodgy going on. Yellow flag coming up, which worked perfectly. Paul couldn't essentially lunge me into that corner because he was under yellow. And now I need to catch up with Anwar, work together and break away from the following pack. So what I did notice with me and Anwar racing, he was a lot faster through like hairpin 1, hairpin 2. So the ones just gone through here, and then I was faster through basically the last hairpin in the chicane. So anyway, this is a few laps later on. I have caught up with Anwar. One of the back markers has got out of the way, like escaped, exit, disappeared. Right on Anwar's tail, giving him a push. Coming up towards the end, so kind of running out of time for defending. I've got to make my move soon if I want to get that P1 position in the heat to get me starting pole position for the final. Again, absolutely great run coming out the last chicane, and I have pulled out and I'm fencing up the inside of Anwar. So I've taken P1. So it's all going well, all working well. We have a bit of a gap behind us. I have covered the inside here, just so Anwar can't send it. Then cover the inside here. Don't need to do anything else. Looking happy. Mega days. And then, that's it. GoPro dies. Don't get anything else. all done. But I can let you know, Anwar does beat me, gets me back, and I lose to him again. So I am trying to recover the files. I'm also trying to get the files from Anwar and from Luke for the final. So I can kind of like splice together some mix of mine, Anwar's, and Luke's, and hopefully Brad will allow me to use a bit of his and have some kind of mega mix for the final. So hopefully, if you see a video like this pop up again, click on it and check out the final.